Welcome back, OTM Live.
Oh,
Here
shit,
we
we live?
Smoke break. Oh, wow. Audio issues and everything. Here we go. All right. We're really back now.
It's
Technical difficulties.
Nah, it's New Year's Eve, y'all.
It's New Year's Eve shenanigans.
Yeah, it's the shenanigans.
Back again with the shenanigans.
The fireworks are going off. You know LA bought like way too many fucking fireworks. If you're in LA, I know you got fireworks. And if you don't got them, your cousins got them or your grandma's got them. Somebody has some fucking fireworks because they've been blowing off all of 2020. The whole 2020 feels like it's been New Year's Eve.
I can't find it, but I know there's a pipe around here somewhere. I'm scared to stand up now.
Oh, shit.
so
Yeah, don't move.
We'll just have to figure that out later. But
Don't move. But I got you. I got you
Sorry.
saved. I got you saved. Hold on. I actually have a joint right here.
Oh, okay, we good.
We can spark this right now.
We
I just
good.
need you to pass me one of those lighters over there.
We good.
See this? See this, America and the world? And Happy New Year's to anybody that's somewhere where it's past 12. Fuck, I don't even know what that is right now. Definitely like somewhere in like England for sure. Liverpool, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, you scouse fucks. I'm gonna spark this now for New Year's. Happy New Year's, y'all.
Sorry, I had to go get the thing. You know, I got the thing on me. I keep that thing on me. Whoop. You know what I mean? For protection at all times.
What the hell is that?
It's that Twisted Tea, boy.
I never even heard of
Getting
that.
twisted.
What is that? Sounds like some nonsense.
Get twisted.
That actually has alcohol in it?
Yeah, 5%. It's like a beer.
Oh, okay. It's like a beer, twisted beer.
It's like a beer, but it tastes like a brisk iced tea. Just not as sweet. Like if you take out, I would say about like 65% of the sweetness of a brisk iced tea and just add a little bit of alcohol kick to it, then you got it. That's it.
That's interesting.
It's actually not bad.
I still don't know if I would like it, but it's interesting.
Today's the first time I actually fucked with it, but since the shit went viral, I was feeling it a little bit. And yeah.
You talking about the video where that dude got smacked by one?
Got boo-bopped.
Yeah, he got slept by a,
See?
what's that called? Twisted tea. He got twisted up.
He got twisted. Get baked.
Yeah. Wow.
It's good. What is this? Jeter. That Derek Jeter? Damn.
Yeah, Derek Jeter's making these fucking pre-roll joints, everybody.
I don't.
And they're fucking great. I mean, Captain Clutch coming through again. Captain
Yeah.
Clutch. Captain Clutch.
Came through in the cut.
Right. And speaking of Derek Jeter, shout out Derek Jeter cameo on The Other Guys. It's a great cameo.
Yeah, he got shot up.
He gets gets shot by Marky Mark.
Marky Mark threw one of them twisted tees at him. Oh, you shot Jeter.
He shot him walking into the tunnel.
My favorite part is like when Will Ferrell character is just like amazed at how nutty he is, and he's like, man, imagine if you didn't shoot Jeter, how nutty your career would be.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, because he's whooping everybody's ass.
You,
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Like, look at this Born Identity ass motherfucker right here. Oh my God! But you had to shoot Derek Jeter in the tunnel and shit. God damn, man.
Yeah.
Marky Mark puts on some good comedies, man. I feel like he's better at comedy than when he's doing serious shit.
God.
And what's weird is he started doing serious shit, right? Or was he a rom-com guy? I don't remember.
I don't really remember. But what I do know is they really need, like, if they, like, Hollywood makes the dumbest sequels. Like, why can't you just make a Other Guy sequel? Make a sequel for some dope shit. You know what would be tight, though, too? Is a Other Guys prequel, right? With Samuel L. and The Rock, like, playing out their shit before, like, what made them nutty. That should be sick. Like,
That would be...
like, if they were the other guys. Like, imagine if they were the other guys before... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
and you could...
dude, that would be
And you could just
fire.
call it that. You call it the other guys. Yeah. It sounds dumb at first, but you know you'll be about it later. Like, who didn't think Friday After Next was stupid as hell when you first heard it?
Yeah.
Probably like, that sounds stupid. And now you're just like, oh, yeah, Friday After Next.
Yeah.
That shit's fire.
Hell yeah.
So,
my bad, everybody. I'm not fucking sitting here sending text messages. I'm actually posting this stream onto the socials and shit, trying to get y'all to come watch it right now. You know how that shit goes.
Jesus Christ, Derek Jeter, this shit is hitting clutch. Man. Doing it.
Oh, shit. Is it locked?
It might be.
Keep the folks busy.
Yeah, we got a visitor. No, but anyways, speaking of movies and like actors that are somewhat unexpected, I saw the movie. I was watching the movie Jungle today. Have you ever seen that?
Jungle. Nah.
Yeah, it's a new one, and it surprised me too because the main character is fuck, I don't know what his name is, but it's Harry Potter. But he's all grown up. This motherfucker has a full blown beard and everything.
Okay.
And I just threw it on like it was after work. I came home after work. I was like, man, I want to decompress a little bit, but with so many streaming services and shit that's available now, and even when you turn one on, it gives you like 100 movies to choose from.
Yeah,
it's
too much.
It's too much. So sometimes what I just finally do, and my favorite, I'll give you guys some advice right here. My favorite streaming service to do this, because it has some fucking gems, and I'm surprised it's still under the radar, is Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah.
So Amazon Prime Video, whatever it suggests, like it's the best at suggesting shit that I actually want to watch next.
You know what's really tight about Amazon Prime is, there's that movie you really want to watch, right? It's not on any of the streaming services. Shit, it's not even on Amazon Prime for free. But you know what you can do? You can actually just buy that motherfucker or rent that motherfucker straight through Amazon.
Yeah.
Which is great because, like, honestly, like I don't even buy Blu-rays anymore. For what? Like, I'm just going to buy it on Prime and stream it through to the projector.
Yeah,
so I'm not even
or
really
whatever
tripping.
you want.
Yeah, I'm not even really tripping.
Like, worst case scenario, if you had to watch on your phone, you watch on your fucking phone, but you could do it. Right.
And what's cool about that shit is you can download it. So if you are on your phone, you can download it and have that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's straight.
Yeah, somebody the other day somebody the other day told me, asked me if I didn't have I don't know if it was songs or a movie downloaded onto my phone, and it was the weirdest shit for me. I'll be honest. Like, I wasn't ready for that. I was like, what? I was like, ever since I had the option to never save shit on my phone, I've never saved shit on my phone.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that's what it is more so than it freaked me out. Like, what? You could do it? Like, no. Even knowing or not knowing that I could do it, why would I go back to that? Like, I used to suffer in the real world where it's like, damn, you took like 10 photos over the weekend, your phone is done. Your phone is done. You took too many pictures. You got to delete some. You got to just look at them really hard and be like, try to remember this shit. Try to remember this shit. And you just press that little trash can icon. But check this out. So anyway, Amazon Prime, I go on that shit, and it's got the movie Jungle, so I slapped that on. Okay. And right off the top, like the reason I kind of wasn't into it in the beginning, it seems kind of like a teenish kind of horror movie. Like, first of all, it's Harry Potter. So it's like, that's already like, oh, man, you got to win me over, son. Because I don't know nothing you've ever done but Harry Potter, and I never watched any of the Potters. So I don't know nothing about pottery.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? So this is my introduction to you, and I'm just typecasting you as some little wizard boy.
Right, because at least, at least I know Frodo from other shit besides Lords of the Rings.
Right. He's been doing Heat. Right. He's been doing Heat for a long time. He was a little kid. I seen him in some shit. Yeah. Nah, but anyways, like Harry Potter, I only know him from that Harry Potter, from that wizardry shit. Yeah.
I don't even know the dude's name, to be honest.
That's why I had to say Harry Potter. That's what I said. I was like, I don't know the dude's name, but I can tell you who it is. I was like, it's fucking Harry Potter. So anyway,
anybody in chat, what's the name? If anybody's send it to the name. I got it right here. Just send me the name, so I ain't got to be all on my phone like that. Please
slap the chat up if you know what
Harry Potter's fucking name is in real life. Like, who the fuck is the actor?
Oh shit, it's Ray Finkel. Isn't it Ray Finkel? Oh man. Laces out.
Laces out.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
Oh man, Dad knows. Dad knows. Man. But anyway, so I slapped that on, and like in the beginning it shows dude like he travels with like some buddies. He's from Israel. He travels from Israel with his buddies to Bolivia.
Okay.
Because they just want to go chill in the Amazon and shit, have a little adventure. He skipped out on college. He just wanted to party for a year. You know, he's like, fuck this.
I know what that life is like.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So he's out there, and like the first thing for sure, like he goes to like some little campfire party with like some local, like you meet some local chicks at a bar, but they're like white chicks, so they're like tourists too.
Oh, okay.
And you know, like they go into like some little forest party, and they do like some psychedelic shit. And so I'm like, man, I'm like, this shit is boo-boo. Like, I'm like, all right, it's fine. Like, I'll leave it on. But I thought this was going to be like full-blown, like, because another movie that was right next to it is The Gray. You know, The Gray with the wolves and shit?
Yeah.
The plane crash and the wolves?
Yeah.
Okay, that movie was next. So I figured, okay, this is going to be one of those movies. So that happens. And I'm already turned off because I was like, this is going to be some corny horror that's just overly sexualized, like crazy trip,
right.
You know, some fucked up shit happens.
Over the top, extra shit.
Yeah. And it's weird because it starts like that, and then it does a complete left turn. Like, it doesn't stick on that. Like, then dudes are just, like, meeting up back at their little fucking B&B that they got over there. Mind you, this is supposed to be 1981. And they just they're talking about what they want to do in their next mission. And Harry Potter, the day before, he was just walking through the local village, just checking shit out like a tourist, you know.
Right.
Seeing what all the Bolivians do out there. They had their little shops and shit with the indigenous people and all that noise. And one dude rolls up to him and he's like, hey, you American? Some crazy Crocodile Dundee looking motherfucker. Like, hey, what the? But, see, here's the problem. Well, it makes sense because dude wasn't American. So, of course. But even if I'm American, I probably wouldn't say I was American right away. Second of all, like, that's already too sus. Like, I'm not rolling with you. And an American wouldn't take that shit anyway. Or an American would just probably just be like, yeah, I'm American. What the fuck?
Right.
So, that was sus. But dude tells him he's not. And then he sits him down and dude's like, hey, you could do the touristy shit, or you could roll with me. I'll take you into the real Amazon jungle. I know the whole back country. Like, he basically pretends he's like a nutty guide for the Amazon, right?
Right.
And Harry sold because he wants to wild out. He's like, yeah. So that night he's at the B&B with his homies.
Right.
And he's telling them, and they're like, dude, they're thinking like super sensibly, like how what I'm at. They're like, nah, bro, that's sus. Like, you dude just met you out of nowhere. Like, well, you don't even know him. He's going to take us into the jungle, kid. Like, what's happening? And Harry's like, all right, y'all want to be chumps then? Like, whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. Like, he just tries to ride on him. And they're still like, look, bro, like, you don't even got to ride on us. Fine. We'll join you. You know, like, but you ain't tough like that. You're still Harry Potter. Relax. All right, long story short, to not ruin the ending, but I just wanted to give you that little intro that it does switch in case anybody starts watching it and thinks it's whack like me. But anyways, it switches, and the guide takes him in, and then this guide, dude, he starts showing signs that he really doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Right.
And he just took them into the Amazon. And, like, he goes on a river, and he's scared to fall off the raft. The guide, dude.
Right.
Like, he's acting shook, and they're like, what the fuck, this dude, we're going to die, da-da-da. The fastest way to get there, I think, is by boat. So there's 3 guys that go with the guide. 2 guys decide to go on the raft. Mm-hmm. The guide won't go on the raft anymore, so they send one of their homies with him. So they take off. They're going to take 3 days to get there. On the raft, it's going to take them 6 days, actually. So it takes longer on the raft, but they had all their shit packed on there. Okay. So it's got to happen.
So
they send the weaker homie, the guy that was a little more scared. Like, most of the time, they're like, hey, it's good, you're brave. They gave him that whole talk, like, hey, you the champ, boy. Hey, look at me in the eyes right now. Like, like, and he was just bought it. He was like, I am, right? Like, for sure, yeah. He's like, I would have stayed too, but y'all are cool, right?
So
he bounces out. He bounces out with the guide. That's all sus, right?
damn.
And it's like, damn. So me right away, I'm also thinking, though, like, man, I wouldn't have left my weakest homie with the guide, though. If anything, I'm going with the guide or another homie that I can trust is going with the guide.
Right.
Because it's like, and I would just tell you, like, right before you walk away, like, hey, anything funny, homie. Like, just wipe him out. Like, wipe him out because we don't know him.
Right.
Like, we don't know him, and we'll see you at the village. I'll take care of whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or same, vice versa. But I couldn't believe they let the little wimpy one go. I was like, oh, man. So the raft shit doesn't go well. They're in the Amazon. These guys ain't nobody. They're just tourists, straight up.
Right.
Bro, that fake guide made this raft out of logs, too. It's not even real, bro.
What the fuck?
And they're trying to rock it in the Amazon.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
So
what the fuck?
So then their raft gets all torn up. They have to jump off. They get split up. And then it just becomes the whole story about just Harry. You just step into Harry's world because he gets lost from everybody else.
Oh,
And he doesn't know what
shit.
happens for a while. And you know what?
Oh, shit.
And that's where the movie just really gets real nutty. Like,
Yeah,
real.
that's where, like, that's what I was, like, waiting for. Because I'm like,
Yeah, all of the other shit
I'm
sounds
like, man, like,
typical
that
of
shit's
the
corny.
movie. Yeah.
Like, corny. I'm like,
and that's
okay,
what I'm
like,
saying. Like,
it's
I was
kinda-
like, I
it's-
still wasn't bought yet. I was like,
Yeah,
man.
like, it's kind of interesting, but then it's like, as you start going into the typical tropes of fucking
Right, they're going to
these
keep
goofy-
surviving. Yeah, they're
these
going to keep
goofy
surviving.
movies. It's like, oh,
They're going to
fuck,
keep
here we go.
surviving somehow. Oh, my gosh. You know, like, they just fucking missed the bear.
And then you think it's like, oh, slowly, one by one, they're gonna get picked off, and then,
Right, and then it's going to be a
whatever.
silly, too
Right.
quick way to pick
Right.
them up. But
if
it
it
wasn't.
takes over as just one person lost out
No,
there
it
by
just
himself,
it takes over. Well, because it
nothing.
kind of starts with Harry, and then it becomes about the group. That's why it's also weird. Because then it's like, how did it become about this group of friends?
Right,
I thought this shit was about Harry. What the hell's happening? Anyways, Harryhausen over there. So yeah, I'm not gonna ruin the rest, but that's where it gets good, and basically the rest is him out in the woods and shit, and so I finished watching it, and I thought it was decent. That back part of it, the
Right.
beginning's tough to stomach. It's like one of those movies where the first act is terrible, and then
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and then it picks up.
that's what it was sounding like. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm hoping you're getting into some fire shit right
No,
now,
no.
because if you want to talk about some real bad first acts, we could talk about some real.
We'll
bad
talk
first
about that next
acts.
because let me just say my final thing on Jungle, right?
Yeah.
And first of all, if you're in the fucking Amazon, like, quit fucking playing. Like, what are you doing? You don't, even if you go with a guide, don't go into that river. What's wrong with you? But anyway, look, let me tell you. So then what was even crazier is at the end of the movie, credits roll, and I'm just whatever already now. Like, I was like, all right, that was decent. I was all right. And then they start showing the pictures of the actual dude that it happened to, and all three of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And shit, I am gonna spoil one part of the movie though, because the other part's still worth.
I got some movie spoil. I got a movie spoiler I want to talk about too. Like, for reals, I want to.
Okay. But this one, there's still enough meat in this movie to watch it even after a spoiler.
Yeah.
But the little wimpy guy that they sent, they never found him or the guide. And it turns out that the authorities were looking for the fucking guide because he kept conning people into going into the jungle. So he's already a wanted man. But neither of them made it out of that fucking jungle, homie.
Oh shit.
Straight up, and it was a true story. They were like,
Sick.
damn, they have the pictures of the third dude. And he looked exactly like how they made him look in the movie. I was like, oh, that's homeboy that just never came.
That's pretty sick.
That's crazy.
That's actually pretty sick.
So then that became even crazier to me because I didn't know it was a true story. You know? Because I told you I didn't pay attention in the beginning. To me, when I just started watching it, it was a dumb fucking party movie. Like, we're in the jungle getting high with hot white chicks.
Right,
Where'd these white chicks come from? It's Bolivia. It's Bolivia,
Fucking-
bro. The thin air don't support white chicks up there.
That's kind
Ain't-
of funny though. And shit.
Ain't no Starbucks don't work up there, man.
Yeah, I got a fucking spoiler I want to talk about though. No, I'm good on that.
Okay.
Fucking So remember last episode I brought up that I had watched Wonder Woman 1984 that day. right? And then we went off on some wild fucking tangent, as we will right now. I probably won't get to finish this thought, but it is what it is.
Okay, tell me.
But
about
all right, so this is a super spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen it and you want to watch that shit, then you could turn your audio down for the next fucking 2 minutes.
it.
And
Wait,
then
you
come
don't
back.
want to spoil what? Wonder Woman?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's
okay.
it's just a spoiler, but it's a very, very,
Okay,
very small.
I was just
Spoiler.
making sure it was that movie, and you weren't gonna like say a newer movie
It
or something
doesn't
different.
really matter in terms of the story, so it's not really much of a spoiler. But it's just you. If you haven't seen it and you don't want any surprises, then don't listen. But fucking
Earmuffs, children.
so basically, the MacGuffin of the movie, right, is this stone that I forget what they call it. It's like a stone. Right, but it grants a wish, so it's like a genie stone, basically. But
you
only
might
get
want to
one-
explain MacGuffin to the.
If you don't know what a fucking MacGuffin is, just think of the Infinity Stones from fucking Marvel, right? Like how they all gotta chase, like you gotta chase a specific item in a movie. Like it's not necessarily like
It's a treasured item,
Yeah.
not treasure, but a treasured
like
item.
the mother boxes from fucking Justice League, the fucking Infinity Stones, Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, but I started laughing because I thought you were gonna say, if you don't know what a MacGuffin is, then you're a fucking MacGuffin. You fuck.
Yeah, you're a fucking McMuffin. That's what you are. But anyway,
Oh,
see, here we go. We're about to go off, and I'm about to lose the thought. So here we go. I'm gonna bring it back.
Get back on track. Come on, bring it way
Okay,
back.
so the whole thing is they get this stone, right, and it grants one wish, and so like Wonder Woman, of course, wishes for her boo from the first movie to come back, right?
Oh man, what kind of bullshit wish is that? Though?
But he died. Like he literally died. Like he's not coming back. He's dead. Right?
I know, but if you're
But
Wonder
look,
Woman, I
nah,
feel
hold
like
up,
you
wait.
should wish some.
Hold up.
Okay. Go,
All right,
go.
So,
No tangents.
so the wish is granted, right? Like all you have to do is hold it and wish,
Yeah.
right? So the wish is granted, but the thing is, it's not like he just comes back. His consciousness comes back and inherits another dude's body,
What the fuck?
right?
Oh,
So his
hell
consciousness
nah.
takes over another dude's body, right? But this is not like this. This is the stupid shit, right? So you as the audience, the viewer, we end up seeing it. Like there's a quick scene where they do a transition where we ended up seeing that character from Wonder Woman's eyes, right? So it turns from like the regular guy to Chris Pine, right? So like, but the whole time it's really that other guy. We're just seeing the projected consciousness on top of that guy, right? So in the very next scene after, like, oh, we reunite, oh, yay, they have sex. So, okay, that's cool, but
It's
it's technically rape. I mean, she had sex with some dude against his,
Oh, it was against his will?
well, I mean, it wasn't his consciousness, but it was his body.
Oh, dude was entering it like a spirit then. So it was still the other guy, but he was just borrowing the body.
He was borrowing the body.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Right?
that's rape, son.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
That's
okay.
rape, right?
Because at first I was like, man, if Wonder Woman
Nah, he just
hopped
popped-
on me,
I mean, okay, I get that.
if I got mad at her, we
Like,
could call it
look,
rape, but I'd have to get super salty, bro.
Look.
Because I let Wonder Woman do I'll let her be wondrous, bro. Hey,
Oh, shit.
they call you
Okay,
Wonder
all
Woman.
right,
Do
all right,
you?
all right, all right.
Do you, boo?
But in my opinion, like, that's still rape regardless because
Yeah, that's a
regardless
tricky
if he-
one. That's a
regardless-
tricky one, but it
look,
is
'cause
rape.
Regardless
Yeah,
if
that's weird.
if that character does want it, right?
He doesn't get to
He
enjoy
doesn't-
it,
he-
though.
Well, he
Yeah.
doesn't get to give permission either way.
But I would just be mad either way. I'd be like, damn, that's kind of banging that my body did that. But it's kind of whack that I never felt it,
You can't
bro.
think about it.
Yeah, you can't even remember it. It's still just gonna, nah, man. See, yeah, I'd be upset.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'd be
that-
mad either way.
it's
I'd be
not
mad either
really
way.
a
Consent
spoiler.
or no consent.
It's not really a spoiler, but it's It's definitely
Okay,
a weird one.
but
It's
that
definitely a
but
weird
let me tell you something. That's actually a theme that's been going on in movies for a while.
Yeah.
There's this fucking crazy surreal Japanese movie from the 1960s. 1963, 64. It's called shit, man. I always fuck up the name, but it's something similar. Like if you look something up like this, you'll find it. But it's like another man's face or another face. And the whole premise of the movie is this guy gets disfigured in like some accident at work, but he's just like a regular business dude. He's actually like a good business dude. It's not like some dude that's like a mechanic that gets hurt.
Right.
Like it just so happens he gets injured. So he gets injured and he has to wear these bandages while his face heals because his face just basically melted like in little chunks. So the whole movie, he's like rocking mostly bandages. But as he's rocking bandages, he finally gets the idea to go and fucking get plastic surgery.
This shit sounds so familiar.
And he goes and gets plastic surgery, and he gets his face changed. So I think actually that's what the name of the movie is, Face of Another. The Face of Another. And so he wants to put on a different face to go try and seduce his wife as another guy. Without her knowing. Yeah, super fucking weird. And the movie's in black and white, son.
Interesting.
Great. No, them Japanese movies from that era, that's the Japanese new wave. Oh my god. Like it's shit that was so beyond its time. It's like shit that looks like movies now.
Yeah.
But just in black and white. And you're like, what the fuck? They were already doing like
they
were already doing like low angles and like crazy lighting.
Their ability to direct like massive scales of shit too.
Not only that, but they truly believed that like the cinema was like a dream. That was dreaming because when you're dreaming, that's what you're doing. You're watching a movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You're basically watching a simulated, reality.
That's actually pretty dope, though.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
So
watch more Japanese films, y'all. Don't be scared to read subtitles.
Man, I love subtitles. Sometimes when I'm like laying in bed and I get a little lazy, I roll over and I just have to hear all the crazy Japanese shit that I don't understand, but it's great. I love it anyway.
If you don't want to watch black and white Japanese, you want to watch some like new dope samurai shit or newer dope, you could watch what is that, 13 Assassins?
13 Assassins is a good one. That one's wild.
Hey, the first
it's a little outlandish on the special effects, but that's what we're talking about. New age samurai movie. Yeah.
It's outlandish, but at the same time looks that it could be realistic. It's weird, like it's
not realistic, but they do it good, so it's cool.
Like, it's weird.
It's just cool. It's just what it is. It's just the cool factor of those fights. It's just like, damn,
very
this
well,
is dope.
Very well choreographed. You could obviously different styles for the different characters, so it doesn't really look like it was all choreographed by like one, fight dude. Like it was really like everybody got their own different style of how they fight, and like. Yeah, the first half of the movie is all storyline. You don't really see no action. I don't think there's any action. Like literally the first half, and then the entire second half is just one long fucking nutty ass battle. So I mean,
but that's true. That's true to first that concept though. You know what I mean? Character story development first, and then just give them the meat. Give them everything you got.
I get like some of you probably don't want to fucking watch. The whole story and shit. I know how some of you motherfuckers are.
Everybody's gonna watch Wonder Woman 1984 no matter what you say.
But that second half of 13 Assassins, watch that shit. Like, that shit is intense. One of the best action sequences or half a movie I've ever fucking seen.
I thought that whole movie was like an
the whole
action
movie is
sequence.
fucking sick. But
there's actually I just thought about this, but there's another movie where this one's recent too. Like I think it's like 2013 or something. But it's I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called Phoenix. Have you heard of Phoenix?
Nah.
And it's this movie that's this lady
X-Men Phoenix?
No. It's like some post World War II stuff, and this lady gets sent off to war by her husband or something. It's something weird like that. Because he kind of wants her dead. It's kind of a weird thing. And anyway, she goes to war, and she gets into an accident in war, like, a bombing or some kind of, like, shooting or something, and her face gets disfigured. So when they put her face back together, it's not exactly perfect.
Right.
So she ends up moving back to a town where her husband lives, and her husband mistakes her for a woman that just looks similar to his wife. And so she starts playing that role.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, to seduce him now, to try to get him back. Because then the plot line changes into the fact that they were, that he was trying to get like some kind of insurance claim off of her death or something. It was crazy.
Damn, that is crazy.
Yeah. So them face changing or like swapping your face and seducing a lover thing is a weird, surrealistic thing that's been in cinema for some time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So watch out. Face
swapping
changes.
your
I will admit though, I never expected it to enter Wonder Woman 1984. And that's the wildest shit. That's the wildest shit to me. Yeah. Is it 2021 somewhere? Fireworks are going off. What time is it?
It's 8:20.
Whoo!
Dude, fireworks been going off in LA since the first lockdown. They've been going off the whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been going off since like before that first lockdown, too.
That's true. There is a fireworks dealer out there.
Just
who's got some nice pockets right now.
Nice
pockets right now.
Beyond your wildest fucking cocaine dreams.
I mean, honestly,
weed
he probably
dreams, whatever you think. No, this dude made way more money moving that shit than anything
else.
The whole of LA has just been fireworks after fireworks
popping off
forever.
Unless
the whole year.
Unless Bezos got them on Amazon, you know what I mean? It could be because Amazon won the entire 2020.
He might.
And just moved a little bit closer to like total world domination, like Skynet shit. You know what I mean? He's basically like baby Skynet.
Yeah.
And he's playing with everybody like, oh, I like sci-fi movies. I'm going to throw that up on my shit.
I think Elon will probably get to Skynet level first.
No, but Elon's going to end up getting killed some weird way.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. He's going to party too hard.
I can see that.
One of his weird girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Like trying to
one of his weird girlfriends
trying to fly off on the side of a rocket like Tom Cruise or some shit, or Dr. Strangelove shit, you know what I mean? Like just raw dog it into space. He'd probably try to fly into space on a jetpack. Like, I can do it, guys. As long as you give me a helmet with oxygen, I can do it. Yeah, I mean, he's just like, dude, it would roast the fucking back of your calves.
Man,
you'd just be basically like just bones back there. Because think about all the propulsion you need for exit velocity.
Speaking of jetpacks, dude, what about that fucking jetpack dude over LA and
okay, shit? Guys. I knew you were going to go there. But okay, guys, this is serious. There's a motherfucker flying over LA. He's been spotted over Palos Verdes just by helicopters, right?
He was spotted by LAX.
By
LAX, by pilots coming in to land,
just jamming, flying next to like commercial jets.
But they finally got footage of this dude. I can't
landing
remember
somewhere.
No. Remember that's the one I sent you where they actually got footage of this dude.
Oh,
flying,
okay.
But over the ocean now.
Yeah.
Instead of like he was flying like.
He's probably over there by like Malaga Cove and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, you know how those things just got you floating
that shit
up
was
there.
sick. Like
that shit is sick.
I wonder who the fuck that is. That's got to be fucking Tony Stark.
Yo, let me tell you something. That shit is sick, but that shit is ballsy, son.
Mr. Robert Downey Jr., I need you to stop fucking around, please. Like for reals. You need to let us play too. Because that shit looks fun as fuck.
Nah,
I'm not even gonna lie.
He's digging into that Russian cocaine. That's why. That shit'll change you. Because some of that is real snow.
Man.
Packed right from Siberia, baby. Scooped right from the side of a Siberian mountain. Right out the side of a dire wolf's neck. You know what I mean? They don't make shit easy out there.
They sure don't. They fucking sure don't. That shit cold in motherfucker. Fireworks going off outside. That shit loud. So if you hear popping and banging, That's the fireworks. Yeah. Sorry.
And clicking and clanging, it's because my banjo's coming soon. Just beware. Be ready. Because anytime, like, that's the beauty of, like, any kind of, like, banjo being a lead to anything is that you could literally just clack some pans together. And it goes as percussion to it. Like, and then, you could just be hammering away. And just having a dandy old time. You know what I mean? I've been, I have a microscope at home. And
Dude, speaking of microscope, fucking, I never sent you this story because I wanted to bring it up fresh to you.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like, okay, so.
Okay, let me sit up because it's about to be crazy right here.
And I already pulled it up on my phone, too, because I want to talk about it and not butcher it this time.
Speaking of microscopes.
It's fucking wild. So I want you to just hear it for
I love
the first
microscopes, though.
All right, this article is on futurism.com.
Okay.
Published by Dan Robitsky.
Okay, I don't know him.
In
but that's
Hard Science.
Okay.
So it's hard as fuck.
I mean, that's mostly a
Hard as
sci-fi-ish
fuck.
website, but okay.
Wait till we get to this story. Okay.
Okay, let's get into some stories.
I'm not even gonna read the headline. I'm gonna just read you the article.
Yeah,
All right.
read it.
All right, Ben.
Read it, I'm ready.
On the International Space Station, clusters of nerve cells called mini brains are developing in ways that scientists didn't previously think was possible. The organoids were grown from stem cells at UC San Diego lab of biologist Alison Moultrie before being packed into a box and shipped to space, where Moultrie told the New York Times they're likely replicating like crazy. Now his team has found that the organoids are giving off brain waves, complex patterns of neural activity, similar to those of premature babies. It's a bizarre finding that could force scientists to revisit the limitations of lab-grown mini organs and the ethical issues surrounding them. Moultrie hooked the mini brains up to a spider-shaped robots to read their neural activity, according to the Times. The findings could be
Spider-shaped. Why spiders?
I don't know.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
The findings could be a sign that scientists are approaching the capability to generate at least partially conscious life in the lab. A development that's long been little more than speculative horror story in the field. The closer we come to this goal, the more likely we will get a brain that is capable of sentience and of feeling pain, agony, and distress, Christopher Koch, chief scientist and the president of Allen Brain Institute, told the New York Times. The human brain is so complex that scientists are still guessing at many aspects of how it works. That's the appeal of mini brains. They're comparatively simple balls of neurons that simulate some characteristics of full brains, but which barely scratch the surface of their capabilities.
Yeah. I mean, that's debatable, the end of that, the last little tidbit. But still, that's pretty crazy. Whatever that whole fucking story is, I'd like to look into that.
But this new study published Thursday in the journal Cell suggests that the mini brains could be more complex than previously believed. Moultrie says here, there are some of my colleagues who say, no, these things will never be conscious. Now, I'm not so sure. If these brainwaves are a sign that organoids could be capable of consciousness, neuroscientists will need to grapple with major ethical dilemma as continued experimentation would yada, 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 yada. We get it. Think about that, bro. These fools growing mini brains. They sent them to space. Obviously, they probably sent them on Elon's fucking rocket.
Yeah.
Right? Because ain't nobody else sending shit up there anymore.
Yeah, NASA's
So
not
that
sending
shit for
that
sure
shit.
went up on Elon.
Because that's kind of pseudoscience, like ish, right? In terms of in terms of like science is no longer required as a credential to experiment in space.
Yeah.
I guess it never was, but I mean, like before, you at least had to sell that idea.
Yeah. But
you
tiny brain. I wish they gave us pictures of that shit, low key. But that's crazy though. So it's like, What the fuck?
I mean, it's super crazy. It makes me think of this. Honestly, it makes me. Have you ever heard of like cyanobacteria?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cyanobacteria is basically like they discovered that they probably popped up around 2.5 billion years ago, about like half of what Earth's been around.
Right.
And just started fucking basically photosynthesizing. And it's basically the only reason the Earth has oxygen and atmosphere and all that shit. I mean, that's crazy, and it came from space. Right. But the fragility of that is crazy in terms of the fact that cyanobacteria wasn't only the first organism to photosynthesize, but it's still the only one. All of the other ones have to use it in order to photosynthesize. That's what's the craziest about cyanobacteria, right? Because at the time when it created what they called at the time the oxidation event, you know what I mean? Basically when everything just switched over to oxygen.
Okay.
But there was a bunch of, what are they called? Like non-aerobic.
Okay.
I don't
know what it is.
Basically, they were like non-aerobic organisms, which means that they existed in atmospheres that didn't have oxygen at all. So when all of that oxygen started getting poured into the atmosphere, it was basically like poison to them.
Oh, shit.
So they just got intoxicated. So sometimes that makes me think like, we're growing brains in space, but just think about the fragility of life on Earth. Like, there's only one thing that decided to just change at some point, 2.5 billion years ago, and now we have oxygen.
Damn.
And we learned to, like, grow up in it and adapt to it and use it.
And evolve through it.
Yeah,
right?
so, of course, yeah, we've always been born into oxygen.
Right.
And we've always been oxygen-born animals, even when we were in our hydrous, womb. You know what I mean?
I mean, and even the atmosphere is not 100% oxygen anyway.
No, right. But it's right. It's just what we extract from it. Well, it's the same as like, it's basically what the cyanobacteria learned to do is basically what it learned to do by learning to photosynthesize is it was learning how to break up water. And it would use just the hydrogen as the power to build other compounds. And everything else was just waste. It was like it took just the hydrogen, it consumed that, and everything else that became waste is oxygen, pretty much. And that's how it just gives us all that oxygen, because it just continues to do that by just extracting the hydrogen from water.
Right.
Crazy, right?
That shit is nuts, bro.
Crazy, right? And that's how we have grass, and therefore grass is what really gives us life, right? Because we're like, wait, we don't eat grass. Yeah, but the cows eat grass, right? And they learned how to develop teeth to eat grass because grass actually has these little like molecules inside of it that when you bite into it, it starts turning grainy like sand. So that it starts fucking up your teeth to defend itself.
What the fuck?
At least this is certain wild grasses that do that. Not all of them. Like lawns you see out here ain't going to do that because they had someone come and hook them up. Like they got their shit looking like a little baby mini golf course and shit. But anyways, other grasses that people don't think about is wheat and corn. That's from the grass family.
Yeah.
So there you go, people. If we never got grass, if all of that shit didn't happen with the cyanobacteria and then eventually fungus growing into the soil.
Well, fungus is the main.
That's the proponent. That's the super highway.
Right. Fungus is what has made everything. Fungus is the foundation of forests and jungles and fucking all main fucking ecosystems, really.
Well, it's basically what brings everything back to equilibrium.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because it's what breaks it, along with bacteria, or what break down dead plants.
Dead anything.
Right. Well,
any
dead
biological
anything,
matter.
Dead
matter.
anything.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
Dead anything.
Because everything rots.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's mostly bacteria.
Right. But my whole point with that whole cyanobacteria is that we are just a highly evolved bacteria anyway. That's all we are.
And now, they found a fungus at a landfill that actually feeds off of plastic. But they just don't know how to replicate it and how to grow it. They only found like a small bunch of that shit.
That's fucking crazy,
and
man.
so Right. So fungus also is evolving and adapting and getting better
Oh,
at
yeah,
what it
yeah.
does, right? So everything else
Yeah.
is going through these cycles of evolution.
I'm pretty sure
right?
they've found fungus fossils.
But they
before.
so they just don't know how to fucking I was reading about it. They don't know how to I guess they don't know how to produce ideal conditions for it in the lab or something like that. It was something weird like that where they just couldn't replicate it outside of that landfill. Like I think they couldn't even replicate it at another landfill.
That's
right?
weird.
That's what made it even more weird.
There's something weird in that soil, man.
Right. So they're trying to figure that shit out too. But they were saying that if they could get that shit going, man, that shit could help solve a lot of that fucking of our plastic issues. Speaking of plastic,
That's a straight up Indian burial ground, probably.
we got that 3D printer fucking rocking today. That shit was cool. That shit was dope. I don't know where the little thing is at. I don't know what happened to it.
It's right there. I see it right there by the
lost it.
screen.
Oh,
It's on
yeah,
the
yeah.
shelf. Bring that over so people could see what you printed. Little puppy. Get it close to the screen. You know, well, you got to put your hand behind it, I think. Yeah.
Because there's no auto, nothing.
Okay, switch the angle. Give him the other angle. It's all right. Technical difficulties, people, but check this shit out. Look at that. Look at that. It's a little doggy. It's awesome, though. Look at the details on that. I hope the cam could see that. I think so.
Yeah, kind of.
Look at that.
Yeah.
No, that's super nice.
It came
Look at
out
that.
pretty clean.
And this is solid, guys. I don't know.
Yeah. Solid.
This thing, you could knock a burglar out with
Yeah.
this shit if they break into your house. They go give me the 3D printed puppy. Instead of brass knuckles, you just put this between your fists. You just give them the puppy. These will go on sale next week.
I got a full clip of Twisted Teas. I'm not even tripping.
Whoa, this guy. This guy's already getting twisted on tea. I feel like he's living in London or something. Where's the biscuits? Yeah. Wait, what were we talking about before that? Yeah, like how crazy just life started on like the planet, basically. Oh, the atmosphere was iron based before it flipped over to oxygen.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it the great oxidation effect. I mean, yeah. So yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy because imagine just one day a bacteria just comes out of nowhere, right? Just like COVID kind of came out of nowhere,
Right.
and it's kind of microscopic, right? A bacteria just comes out of nowhere and just decides to switch back to iron. Real quick. And it did happen really quick. You know why? Because that's why they spewed too much oxygen into the atmosphere. And so certainly it was good because it created an atmosphere, created an ozone layer, but that's how you got giant creatures. You know what I mean? Because there was so much oxygen.
There was a lot of oxygen. Yeah.
There was a lot of oxygen at the time.
I mean, plants were fucking
ginormous. Bugs were giant.
Yeah.
Bugs were giant.
Bugs.
Yeah.
Everything was big.
Yeah, you would think we were talking about those murder hornets and the bees. Dude, like back then you would have got one like that big. Like a giant murder hornet. Not that fat probably, but like that big.
Probably even bigger, to be honest.
Like this mic, probably.
Yeah.
Imagine just a murder hornet coming like we're done. Because those shits got poison, son.
And they come in a little squad.
No, and they don't care. Like you know what's the weirdest shit about like mammals? Mammals like sometimes you see them kill each other. You see them do all kinds of like vicious shit. The wild's crazy. But like sometimes you see compassion in them a little bit too. Like they're a little bit compassionate. Like sometimes you could see like, man, all right, like something's switching up. Like that animal's been through some shit, man.
Yeah,
but like bugs never look like that. Bugs are just like, dude, I'm only alive for like 48 hours, boy. Like we're going ham. This is the hangover for wasps, boy.
Yeah, they're quick.
Basically. Like they don't ever look like they have emotions. They have like a billion eyes. Who could cry out of a billion eyes, bro? Like that's real wet quick.
A billion eyes.
Yeah, nobody cries from that. I don't even think they have cry glands. Like they don't even sweat. They're that small. They just stay cool.
They fly one time. Cool off in the breeze.
Yeah, they just get super cool. Like, man, it's cool out here. Yeah, I mean, Honestly, that's the reason why I think we're the only primates that don't have hair, that have hairless bodies. Like, we do have fur. That's a misnomer because it's just our head hair and our facial hair. Like, we just don't call it fur, you know. But it's the same shit as like any animal. But we lost that shit because we were supposedly doing like these endurance hunts. Do you know what an endurance hunt is? Mm-mm. So an endurance hunt would just be like Homo erectus, I think, is the one that figured it out, and then it fell on to Homo sapien. But it would just keep running with the animal until the animal got tired. So they just keep running.
Just chase them down.
Just chase them forever. And so you just be endurance. You just be like, who's gonna last?
Right.
Like they just
that's like real survival.
But that's fittest. That's real survival of the fittest, and that's real hunting because it's like we don't even have weapons yet.
We just chase them down.
We just have to hope that shit gets tired, and then a bunch of us will jump that shit. You know what I mean? Right. And just hit it with rocks.
I wonder. Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder which the first one of them to pick up and throw a rock at one. Like,
oh man, I'll tell you which one. The first one that survived the first hunt and was like, oh my god, I almost died. Like that shit hit me back with its horn or with its head, and he was like, no, we can't go with our fists, bro. I punched that shit and it didn't even look at me. You know what I mean? You punch a deer, that shit's gonna hurt you more, bro. Come on, man. Nobody was doing that. So that dude was just
ass deer and shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. And especially them old school deer that were just running forever. Dude, you get kicked by one of those, you lost a couple cavemen back then. You lost a few. Like, it was just like, damn, we lost Bah. Bah. He not carry rock. He fucked up. Yeah, he thought he was brave and shit.
I should have had that
He
rock.
just tried to bite that shit in the neck like a lion and shit. He was crazy. No, but I'm saying, like, so they would just do these endurance things. So eventually, like, we would just stay like warm or hot, right, from all that running and stuff. So we didn't need all that excess body heat. Plus, we developed more sweat glands. You know what I mean? Than most animals. So that's our cooling system as opposed to everything else, which is weird to every other animal because most animals don't sweat at all. I mean, they do sweat, but in very different ways. Like, they don't get wet like us. Like, imagine your dog was just running forever and then it came into the house soaking. Like, you'd be like, oh, whoa, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, dogs do sweat. Dogs
do.
Dogs get wet and they sweat.
They do, but it's not like us. We get excruciatingly wet.
Yeah, we
get excruciating. Like, you just look down and, like, my shirt's stuck to me. Like, it's like, why?
I mean, yeah, that's how they don't have to sweat as much because once their fur gets any water on it, as long as they're moving, the air hitting it acts like giant.
Right, and the fur also helps against the heat.
Right, and it's like insulation,
good.
right?
Good,
but it also works when it's wet as, like, heat sinks.
Yeah.
Right? Like air-cooled heat sinks, basically.
Yeah, you ever seen those fucking monkeys in, like, Tibet or somewhere in China that they just chill in the fucking hot springs by the fucking volcanoes? Oh, those dudes are fucking made it in life. Like, do you believe in reincarnation?
They got it. No, not really. But what's cool about that water, too, is it's very high in minerals, so it's, like, probably really good for their fur
hell yeah.
Oh, no,
those monkeys look amazing. And they're, like,
chilling.
And you could tell they're feeling, like, they got the good vibes,
they're
bro.
Just
like, they're happy as fuck. Yeah. Like, they're, like, really, like, they're vibing. Like, they're happy. Like, they're like, hey, man, like, they're hippies, pretty much. Yeah. Those are some hippie-ass monkeys. They're like, hey. Y'all want to come take a picture? Like, why are you Jamaican all of a sudden?
They're fucking chilling for sure. Fucking.
Nah, they're hanging out. I like those monkeys.
Where is that at? Where was that at?
Nah, it's like somewhere in China or something. I think.
Is it in China?
Yeah. Or Mongolia. It might be in Mongolia or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere up there where it's like, it's got to be volcanoes and it's really cold, but that's like a great place. I think it's like China. It might be Japan. There's some. The northern part of Japan's pretty cold.
Yeah.
It stays like snowing year round.
Right. There's a lot of parts of Japan
that shit's
pretty
crazy.
High elevation too.
Yeah, people don't know that. Everybody's always just thinking about like Tokyo, like high tech Japan.
Right.
But I think like countryside Japan looks
high
dope.
tech Japan. I know, no shit.
High tech. Yeah.
Never thought about it like that. High tech Japan.
Yeah, super high tech Japan because they are at like the forefront of that. You got to give them that.
I want to go to Japan.
Like
one
they're
day.
like 10, 20 years ahead of us for sure.
I really want to go one day.
For sure.
That'd be dope.
Man, with all this Rona right now, it's
I know.
looking sus for the next 10. For real, man.
That's cool though. Fuck it.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, what were we talking about before that? I was gonna say about reincarnation is like I want to be one of those monkeys next. If it happens,
that'd be tight.
If it happens,
Like if
yeah.
you could pick, that'd be super dope.
Yeah, or like you just come out and you slightly remember. Like as a monkey, you go to sleep that night, one night, and then that night you have a dream that you're a human and you're doing a podcast. and you wake up, yeah, you don't even talk English. You were like, you didn't even understand what you were saying in the podcast. You were like, what happened? And you're like, man, we don't even know which one's which anymore.
Man, like, I wonder what they eat. Did they show what they eat?
Those monkeys?
Yeah, I wonder what they eat.
They eat fleas, for sure. And they get berries from somewhere, man. I feel like they get berries from somewhere. And like you said, since those waters are like mineral rich, they got some good berries out there, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of... They ain't crunch berries. Get out of here with that shit, people. That's cereal. It's real shit. Like, I want to go foraging one day, but then I don't. Because, like, I don't want to fuck up, like, the natural little bushes out there with berries. You know what I mean? Like, I always wanted to learn how to forage. Like, shout out to a great YouTube channel out there. Fucking, what's it called?
Fucking crime pays, but
Botany does it, boy. Oh, that guy's comedy. Right now, you know what?
God.
We're going to undersell it right now because it's Botany, though.
Look, if you're watching this on replay on YouTube right now, make sure you please like and subscribe. Appreciate that. Feel that.
Why don't you put a link to his channel down?
Above one of these corners, I'm not sure where it pops up. When it pops up, I'm gonna link to that channel. I think it's gonna be like. Pop up. I think it's gonna
it's gonna be like right there.
Yeah, it's not gonna pop up.
Yeah, it's gonna be right.
So it's gonna pop up here now.
Yeah. All right, it'll be right there.
Go to that channel.
He's got options.
Peep that shit.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
No, but that's a good one because it's like Botany, but it's like some dude straight out of New York.
Nah,
or
Chicago.
Something like that. Oh, he's Chicago. Yeah. Chicago Italian. Chicago Italian. And where's he at now? Like New Mexico or Arizona or some shit?
He just be traveling,
he's just everywhere, but he's mostly like in the Southwest though. He's in Southwest, and sometimes I see some episodes where he's like in Oregon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's got like
just up and down the West Coast and down into Texas and back.
Dude, honestly, it's crazy because it came back full circle because he's like the reason I started looking into like cyanobacterias and stuff like that. Not him specifically, like he didn't have an episode on it.
Yeah.
But like after watching him and then get it going on like this whole like botany and like plant like wormhole or rabbit hole, like it just led me to like texts and little books and shit where I read shit and other YouTube channels. It was crazy, yeah. I love it. I've been learning a lot about plants over this past year because like I want to have house plants, but they're the hardest to take care of, and I always feel guilty that they're not getting real light. Like it never feels right. Like it always feels wrong, and I eventually feel too guilty, and I take them out.
You just gotta think about what kind of plants there are.
Well, it's because I want. I want something to keep the air fresh in the room, right? So like your most typical shit is gonna be like a snake plant or something, which would be fine in there, I guess. I guess I could go with that.
I mean, it just depends what the lighting setup is too, right? Like, is it good? Does it get windowed throughout the day?
Not really. It's mostly dark. That's what I mean. So it's pretty shitty.
You're not doing no justice with that.
Yeah, it's like I need to buy like a fish tank instead.
Yeah, a fish tank is cool.
And just grow plants in there, right?
I mean,
would you do that? Like a little hydroponic system?
Like an aquaponic?
Yeah, aquaponics.
You should do an aquaponic.
Like, that'd be interesting and grow some vegetables in the water, dude.
Well, you could and have a couple fish underneath. Because see,
could you eat those fish after a while?
This is how you set it up, basically. If
it's a goldfish, people.
I mean, you could even do this in a small 10-gallon, right? No, you don't want to eat the fish because you're going to do it in such a small container
Yeah, it's gonna be a baby.
It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So like,
It's gonna be guppy.
if you're like if you're going to do it, right? What you do is you get duckweed, right?
Okay.
And that floats along the top.
Okay.
Okay. The fish eat that. They can eat that, and then they shit out. And their shit is pure nitrogen, pretty much.
So they
Right.
fertilize.
So they fertilize the water, right?
But it
and then,
stays trapped in there, kind of like a greenhouse gas, kind of because of the mossy top, or no?
What do you mean trapped?
Like all of that nitrogen gets
I
trapped
mean,
in the water. It can't escape out through like bubbles.
It stays in the water because
Okay, because of that top.
it's shit out and then it's broken down into the water.
Okay.
Right? So that water is used to feed your plants, which you can run off to the top or off to the side if you figure out either like, you know, we could 3D print like a little tray and divider, right? With some little baskets, you know what I'm saying? And in those baskets we can, you know, grow the plants, right? Like grow your plants in your basket. Like, I mean, you could do small shit, right? Like fucking.
Well, it's good, like little attachments that could create separators within the tank.
You could basically use that to create a little herb garden, right? So you could grow like cilantro or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see,
like,
that's
so you
what
can
I'm
have
talking
like fresh cilantro right off the top, right? And we make like an enclosure over the top so it has room to grow. Right, and so it covers, so you can have the light on, but it's covered, and you don't, you know, the light's not shining out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you're filming in there,
wow,
or if you're sleeping in there,
this is
you
crazy.
don't need no lights on, and all you gotta do is put in a regular basic timer. It's not like we're trying to grow weed and shit. It's just a fucking cilantro.
I mean, let me tell you something, man. Like for 20, I mean, it's about to be 2021 in a few hours. You know, for 2021. I promise you guys. There's a promise from me to you. We're gonna get you some aquaponic vegetables. Is that the proper term? Or hydroponic vegetables, whatever you want to call it.
It's aquaponics.
Okay, aquaponic veggies. We're gonna have them. We're gonna try them on this show live too.
Yeah. I mean,
just like bite right into one. Yeah. See what happens. Should we bite into like a store-bought one, and then like a ground-grown one, like a soil-grown one, and have 3?
Yeah, I mean, cilantro's gonna taste like cilantro.
No, like a tomato or something.
Well, I mean,
something significant.
If you're gonna do an aquaponics tomato, you need a way bigger.
No, I wasn't thinking 10-gallon anyway. I was thinking like 50 to start.
You're gonna need bigger.
I was thinking 50 to start because I want to have a few things. Yeah, I want to just be looking at shit growing in there. Like little space brains, bro. Like I want something to eventually look like a space brain.
You know, there's this dude that on YouTube, he takes big jars, and he'll go to like a pond or something or a lake, and fucking take like a scoop of the fucking sand, and then fill it up with water, and then fucking close the jar, and it's sealed like airtight, and he'll fucking just leave that shit for like 9 months, 12 months. And you see all kinds of shit growing in there. He does fucking like.
It's crazy. That's basically the microcosmos.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world living amongst us. Yeah, always. And what's crazy is it's like basically the premise of that fucking movie that kind of didn't work, which was Annihilation. But it's just the world basically regrowing itself.
Right.
At just like the craziest rate. Like that we don't even understand it. So like we can't understand it on our human level. But it's madness, yeah.
I would check that shit out too if I was.
It's the world. But yeah, that's the microcosmos, dude. That's a whole nother world. That's the kind of shit that makes me believe we're in something like that. And something about a chemical reaction that's happening in whatever plant microorganism we are or macroorganism, let's say we're a plant or something, like something is trying to give us a consciousness that we're a being, and we've chose to be human for some reason, because a lot of it makes sense, right? The emotions we go through, the way we can interact with the world, you know what I mean? The way everything keeps us safe, gravity most of all of these things. But I feel like we're just like some other type of microorganism that just needs all of that thought as energy. as energy to fuel it for just something else.
We're just a small piece of the fucking pie.
And
man.
then it just keeps getting repeated. Like we're getting swallowed by something consistently. Like the universe is getting swallowed by a bigger universe constantly. And we're never feeling it because we're too small.
Like
a part of our own universe.
Well, I mean,
you know, so it's just like, like we got swallowed.
Well, if you think about like how Carl Sagan
fluid
defined that shit by saying like, if there was a cosmic calendar, right?
Yeah.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson played more into this on his recent.
I think he just like modernized it or something.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, he visualized it.
Right.
But
he reinterpreted it a little bit. Yeah.
But it was Carl Sagan, and it might have been somebody before him on that too. But based on the data that they have and the idea that they have of how long the universe and the planet and everything existed, like if you had a 30-day calendar, like we are in the last second of the last day of the last fucking year. You know what I mean? The last day of the year and shit. Like we are at the very tiniest fraction of anything. Like our entire human existence, not just our modern day society. In our modern day society is just nothing.
We're not even like a second though. Like we're like a microsecond. Right. Like we're like 1,000th of a second.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like impossible to even put in like
context, really.
In like quantifiable terms.
I mean, that's the closest way you could really think about it, right?
It's just insanity, and so
it's fucking nuts.
And
it's fucking nuts. And so to think that
it's the impossibility and the possibility of life, right? Because like I've said before, I mean, it happens even. Obviously, it happens through evolution, but it also happens at a rapid rate. Is like metamorphosis actually exists on Earth in our reality today.
Well, I fucking see that shit all the time.
Yeah, you see caterpillars turn into butterflies, for sure.
We see all the time because we purposely grow milkweed plants because that's what monarch butterflies eat. That's what their caterpillars, monarch butterfly caterpillars, only can eat one type of plant, and that's the I just said it, god damn it, that's the milkweed plant, right? And the milkweed plant is poisonous, but this shit can handle just as much. Like remember when you were talking about the bees, and they can handle just as much more heat, right? So this caterpillar has developed to handle just as much of that poison.
Yeah, they adapted to hang out
more than any other caterpillar. If another caterpillar eats it, it dies.
Yeah.
Right. So this will eat it, and then it turns into a monarch butterfly.
Well, think about it like this: it's like people that live in like ridiculous shit, like people that live like on the weird like edge of a cliff or something, right?
Right.
Or like right next to the water, like on the water, like right. Like just weird shit like that. And it's just like we could do that now, but like nobody would ever done that back in the days, in like the nomadic days and shit like that. Like right now we've adapted enough where it's just that the new it's weird because the new like evolution of humanity and adaptation of shit is more technology based and biased. So it's no longer happening to us as like an organism, right? Like our features aren't changing much anymore, right? It's more so like we're just using our technology to just like win above everybody else, everything else right now. And it's weird because we are one of the only like organisms or mammals that there's only one species of us left. You know what I mean? Just Homo sapiens. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that is crazy too.
That is weird. Like what?
I mean, how
does that happen?
Except for the chuds. There's the chuds too.
There is the chuds, the cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Yeah. Remember that,
there's
kids.
Chuds
it's
out
important.
There. Right?
Yeah, they live in the sewers. It's scary. Yeah, so I mean, stay away from the jungles. 2021 advice. Stay away from the jungles.
Stay away from the chuds.
Stay away from the chuds. Stay away from lakes that have microorganisms.
Stay away from that twisted tea.
Oh, shit, in that movie Jungle, too, I forgot to mention, the dude has, like, this lump on his head. Nasty lump. Like, big. Like,
for real?
it looks like a mini, like, baseball. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, oh, he starts freaking out on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets something to, like, cut it open. And he cuts it open. And he just has to slash a little bit because he thinks, like, pus is going to come out. You know, like, something bit him. And he needs to get it out so it doesn't get infected.
Right.
But, like, no pus comes out. And instead, when he does that, you just see something, like, sliver a little bit under it. And he's just like, oh, shit. And he fucking ends up pulling out a whole giant parasite that was already living in his fucking forehead, bro.
Dang.
That's the Amazon forest, kid.
Hey.
The jungle. Stay out of the jungle.
Hey.
Stay out of some nasty-ass lakes, especially if they're not lakes like the LA River or some nasty shit like that. Don't do that.
Ooh.
What else did we warn against? Don't be changing your face and trying to seduce people. That shit is weird. Okay? Like, get right, 2021. Get right. That's all we're asking, man. 2020 was already enough.
Make sure for 2021 you have liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel where you're watching this right now if you're not on Twitch and watching it live. And if you are watching on YouTube, you need to come over to our Twitch channel and fucking kick it with us and talk some shit. You know what I mean?
No, and just catch us live. Yeah,
catch us live, talk some shit.
Well, yeah, we're like we've said before, we're eventually gonna like throw up shit on the screen that like we're like researching or like or even when we're like bringing shit up like this, like I would have just made you guys watch the Jungle trailer, and then we would have talked about it. That would have been much better. Because. Or maybe not, but we could have that option at later times, or we could just show you just like footage while we're talking about shit.
It's 9:00. Happy New Year, East Coast.
Oh shit! Happy New Year, East Coast, and I got family in the East Coast, so we might have to cut this short. It's New Year for me.
Happy New Year, East Coast.
I'm an East Coast person. I'm wearing my New York Yankees hat right now. You guys like that, huh? Made you guys squint. Huh? Looking real close. Ain't no Yankees here. Look at that. You see that? It's LB. Get it right. Fucking Yankees.
Oh, shit.
Man. Happy New Year's, motherfuckers. 2021's going to be a good one, I promise.
All right, we're going to cut it short.
2021.
We definitely cutting it short here. I'm cutting back to this cam so we go out like this.
Peace,
all
love.
Right, thank y'all.
Hippies on the moon's going to be coming hard.
Peace.
Baby. Hey.
Damn.